And it's time to duel one more time here. It's game one, top 8, YCS Richmond. Let's rev it up. Feel the flow. High five the sky.
I'm feeling the flow.
Get your game on, whichever one you want to take. You can use any intro. Look, 6 and a 6, a 12.
Oh. Starting off quite well already for Pack.
Wow. Well, I think that was it Pack that rolled the 12 there?
I thought it was, but I could be mistaken.
The DTI. Yep, it was the DTI, it looks like. So he is going to go first.
DTI is off to the right start then. And he's starting with Tour Guide from the Underworld, but he does lose out to Effect Veiler.
Does he have the Shavara to chain from the hand to get it off the field? It doesn't look like it, but he does have triple tactic talents instead.
He looks like he's drawing 2 cards. A lot of players would opt for the Forceful Sanctuary type effect to look at the opponent's hand. But if Aditya doesn't have much to go with right now, drawing 2 cards may be his only option. So that's the way he went.
All right, this Plano, Texas duelist is going to be looking at his hands. Definitely probably drew the cards because he didn't have any other plays beyond this tour guide. Because, yeah, as you mentioned, looking at the hand is quite powerful, but doesn't look like he drew in anything.
Cards didn't help him. He ends his turn with just a tour guide in attack position.
Oh, no, that Effect Veiler coming in clutch here for Pack. Now, what warrior monster are we going to see first in his Infernoble strategy? How is he going to start his plays? He's going to start with Heritage of Chalice. That's going to let him grab an Infernoble monster. Picking up his deck in sections, hoping he doesn't have to go through all of it, but it looks like...
Resolution?
Yep, he's going to grab the main one you want to start with, and that is going to be Ogier.
Terraforming?
And then he's going to follow it up with Terraforming. That's going to let him add a field spell from the deck to the hand. He's going to add the Noble Arms Museum.
Activate Noble Arms Museum, effect, pay 1,200.
So he's going to use the Noble Arms Museum, pay 1,200 to add a Noble Arms card from his deck to his hand.
It's a small price to pay to get his combo up and running.
Yep, going to grab Durandal. So he's going to equip the tour guide with Durandal. Now he's going to use Durandal's effect to add a warrior monster from his deck to his hand. Now, with no other plays from Aditya, you have to assume he has something in his hand he'll be able to use, and he does use the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring on the Infernoble Arms, or the Noble Arms Durandal. So now he's going to normal summon the Ogier. Ogier is going to be able to send a Noble Arms or a Fire Warrior monster from his deck to the graveyard. All right, Pack taking a moment to consider his options. He definitely has to consider what other disruptions that Aditya might have in his hand.
Yeah, you have to think he has something because there are still 4 more cards in it, and those are 4 cards that he cannot use to build his field.
Yep, and it looks like he's going to send Infernoble Armed Turpin to the graveyard.
Effect of Turpin to special summon.
And Turpin's going to special summon to the field.
Anything on res?
So now he has 2 warrior monsters on the field, and that is what he's looking for.
That's all he needs to make Isolde.
Going to link them away. The Turpin's going to be banished. Isolde's going to be summoned. On summon, he's going to be able to add a warrior monster from his deck to the hand. He won't be able to use that warrior monster this turn. He's going to grab a Neospace Connector, it looks like, for follow-up. Oh, maybe he's considering a different option. Oh, going to go for Super Quantum Red Layer. That's a good way to extend warrior monsters onto the field. He's going to use the other effect of Isolde, pay the cost, send some equip cards to the graveyard to special summon a warrior monster equal to the number, with a level equal to the number of equip cards he sends to the graveyard. All right, looks like he's thinking Divine Sword Phoenix Blade is for sure going to be one you want to get to the graveyard. That's an old school card that is still being used to this day.
Sure is. Keep returning it to your hand by banishing warriors from your graveyard. It's
pretty
get a lot of use out of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, the Isolde special summon effect seems particularly powerful in this deck. You have a lot of equip cards to send to the graveyard, which means a lot of options of cards to special summon.
Definitely is the case. It looks like he's thinking about going for 3, maybe 4. Yeah, he's looking at Alamace.
Looks like he wants to up it. Let's see.
Nope. So he's going to go DDR, Angelic Ring, and Divine Sword Phoenix Blade to summon a level 3 warrior from the deck to the field. And that's going to let him summon Aqua Dolphin.
Aqua Dolphin is a great card for peeking at Aditya's hand, which is probably pretty valuable here because it's not unlikely that there's something there that he wants to play around.
Yeah, he's gonna. It looks like he was looking to see if he has the 2 warriors already to add back the Phoenix Blade, but he doesn't. So he's going to discard the red layer that he added with the Isolde, since he can't use it this turn. So he's going to check the hand. Oh my gosh, it's just Aruha, Tour Guide, and Rhino.
Inflict 500 points of damage to you.
Then he's going to take 500 and discard the other Tour Guide. Just drawing all monsters here. Tough for Aditya.
Brutal. And the most important thing about that is Pac now knows there's nothing in Aditya's hand that he needs to play around.
And now Pac's going to activate Wanted, the Seeker of the Sinful-Spoils to add Diabell Star, the Black Witch.
Summon Dark Witch by sending this.
He's going to send the Durandal to special summon, and then he's going to set a Sinful-Spoils. He's going to set the original Sinful-Spoils Snake Eye. That's going to let him access a level 1 fire monster potentially this turn. Now
activate.
He's going to activate it. The beautiful quarter-century secret rare out of Age of Overlord.
Send Diabell Star to the graveyard. Special summon one of his Infernoble Knights, perhaps Renaud.
This is a cool deck, and remember, he's going second. He's facing down nothing, so he's going to get the Richardetto.
Targeting this.
And then he's going to summon back the Ogier. Now they're going to the graveyard for a Synchro summon. I believe that is going to be level 5. Indeed, Angelica? It is. He's going to summon one of my favorite cards out of Duelist Nexus, Angelica, Princess of Noble Arms. This is going to let him add another copy of that Noble Arms museum from the deck to the hand. The card's not once per turn.
Wow.
Cost 1.
Oh, the blade's coming back.
2.
This is what it gets sent to the graveyard for.
Activate target Angelica, channeling to Angelica.
So he's going to equip the Angelica, use Angelica's effect to banish it to special summon a Roland from his extra deck or graveyard. He's going to summon the Roland Synchro from his extra deck. He's going to want to use that later on, potentially. I mean, I guess he's not going first, he's going second, so he's definitely looking to finish off his opponent.
Yeah, I think he can definitely finish Aditya off this turn. It's just a matter of how. So he's looking for that path.
Definitely. And then we saw him send down the Magius. Is he going to add back the other Phoenix Blade and the Richardetto? Shovels them back into the deck to draw a card. Just replenishing his resources, continuing his plays, putting on an Infernoble clinic here.
Magius effect, target Captain Roland.
He's going to equip the Magius from his graveyard. Use Noble Arms Museum to special summon it from the spell and trap card zone. Then he's going to be able to synchro those into Charles.
Captain Roland targeting Charles.
So he's going to use the Roland effect in the graveyard to equip it to Charles, and then when Charles is equipped with an equipped card, he can destroy a card on his opponent's side of the field, taking out that tour guide. And then he's going to link them away to go into Charles the Great.
Equip the Charles.
And now Charles the Great's going to equip the Charles. He can replace his Noble Arms Museum with a new copy of Noble Arms Museum.
Effect, pay 12 again.
Like I said, it's not once per turn. He's going to pay 1,200 again to add another Noble Arms card from the deck to the hand.
That's an amazing effect to be able to use multiple times.
Yeah, it definitely belongs in a museum. I love Noble Arms Museum. So he's going to be able to push forward the Charles from the spell and trap card zone to the field. This should be enough already. Go to battle phase. He already knows all his cards. Just attack for game here.
Yeah, that's game.
And that's it.
That was it.
You know, Pac being able to capitalize on a rough hand from Aditya. I mean, he had that effect failure, which was huge, especially when he drew all monsters. And Pac now just one game away from moving on to top 4 with the Infernoble strategy. I love that we're seeing so much rise in Infernobles here this weekend. It was definitely one of the decks on Friday when I was talking to players walking around like, oh, what are you worried about playing? What are you thinking about playing? Infernoble was on a lot of players' minds this weekend. It seems like the players have had some time to learn the deck, play with the deck, and it actually lines up really well into this format and really shows that Duelist Nexus has some hidden gems in it that people might have overlooked. The Chimera cards, the Noble Arms cards, the Infernoble stuff. It's really, really cool. And when you can see like good players like Pac bring you to a tournament, we might see him actually walk away and take Infernoble all the way to the very top.
Wow, I didn't see any Infernoble at YCS Indianapolis. Was it... Did I miss it, or was it just not there 2 weeks ago despite the same card pool we have now?
Yeah, I think a lot of players decided after that YCS to try out some new decks, realizing the format has kind of changed because of Age of Overlord. But yeah, the popularity from then till now, even though it's 2 weeks, can be a lifetime in YuGiOh time period, basically. But a lot of players did switch to this deck for this weekend. I mean, yeah, a lot of combo decks are really strong, but the thing about this one is the follow-up that you have. I mean, Isolde, the Tale of Two Noble Knights, is actually just one of the best cards of YuGiOh, of all time.
That card was insane from the moment it was printed.
Yep, so anytime you can just get 2 warriors on the field, that leads to your full combo. You can have some really good rewards. But you see him also playing these go second cards like Effect Veilers, because sometimes you are going to go second, and just an excellent hand from Pack, and not the greatest of hands from Aditya here.
I think this is also a more complicated deck to play, so it's possible the players needed those extra 2 weeks to kind of master it and learn it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a difficult deck, but really rewarding once you master it, for sure. I mean,
For sure.
we almost had a mirror match here. Aditya just played against Infernoble Knights in the last round of top 16, so this isn't something new to him. He knows how to play this deck, and he's beaten the deck already. But, losing game 1 is frustrating, but you're not going to draw like that every single game. You're not going to open all monsters. Like, even if you just had one Unchained Shavara, that game would have been completely different.
Right, so he's unlikely to draw that poorly again. So he's just going to have to accept that he drew badly, lost very quickly, and hope for the best in his second duel.
Yeah, unfortunately, he does let the side deck happen now to where, Pack's going to also be putting in cards that are going to help him in going second, so he's going to have to overcome that, but not impossible to overcome. He's also going to be able to take out maybe his cards that he has in his deck for going second, and put in some new cards that'll help him going first. I mean, even cards like Dimensional Barrier could be, impactful against Infernoble Knights. Calling Synchros, even though they do use links and other aspects, calling Synchros can really shut off the Infernoble strategy.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, it's tougher for a deck like Pack's deck to side deck, because there's so many cards in the main deck that are sort of essential to the central strategy of the deck that are hard to take out without damaging the consistency or the power level of the deck, whereas Unchained has a little more flexibility.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the combo first mid-range kind of deck. Classic issue you run into. You're like, yeah, my combo's great, but it requires me to play these 25 to 30 specific cards that you can't touch.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room to sort of modify the deck between games. So that might help Aditya out in the second and third duels.
Yep, definitely can't let the loss get to your head. You're going to have to focus on the next game. You still have to win the same amount of games no matter what. But let's go ahead and jump into it. It's about to be ready. It's time to duel. We're ready, and their players are ready. They're side decked, and it's game 2 here, YCS Richmond. All right, let's see if Aditya can open up a little bit better.
I assume Aditya will choose to go first. I don't think he would want to let Pack go first using the Infernoble Knights.
Yep.
Definitely. I see a lot of monsters in Pack's hand as well, but there's that effect. But now he's starting off with a normal Unchained turn, setting a card to his back row, activating the Shavara, already off to a better start. It's going to be Abomination's Prison to special summon the Shavara from the hand, and then Abomination's Prison is going to special summon an Unchained monster from the deck to the field.
Setting one card in the back row going first is okay when you're using Unchained and about to destroy that back row card.
It is one of the only decks where you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's how you're leading off.
Pretty much all of the Unchained spell and crap cards that are used in the deck just special summon monsters from the deck when they're destroyed.
Yep, and then he's going to summon Shyama, link those 2 monsters away into Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, and now he's going to be able to set the trap and try and add an Unchained monster from his deck to the hand. But Pack is going to use Effect Veiler to try and cut him off from the monster, but Aditya will still be able to set Escape or Chamber thanks to that Shavara being sent. It looks like he's eyeing the Escape of the Unchained. Now Aditya's going to have to find another way to get another monster onto the field. He still has his normal summon. He's going to set Chamber. This leads me to believe he's going to find a way to destroy this turn. So he probably still has a Ruha potentially in his hand. He still has the Shyama in the graveyard as well.
Yeah, he still has his normal summon as well.
So yep, he's going to use the Shyama to destroy the Chamber. So Shyama comes back. Chamber's going to summon from the deck.
Sure.
He will get the Unchained monster of his choosing.
Looks like he's thinking about Rakea, and it is going to be Rakea with the quick effect to be able to destroy one of his own cards. And now it looks like he's going to link away the Shyama, so it's going to go to the bottom of the deck alongside the Soul.
That bottom card, is that part of the deck?
Yeah, no, that should be there. Shyama goes to the bottom of the deck.
Yep.
Clearing up a little confusion.
And he's going to link for Unchained Soul of Rage with YuGiOh on the field. And now he's going to normal summon Sarama. That makes a lot of sense.
So there's the normal summon for his turn.
That's fine.
This is much better than last duel.
Oh, yeah. Things are going much better for Detail here.
He got hit by the same number of effect veilers, too.
So he's going to use Sarama to reset the chamber and then destroy his Soul of Rage. Now let's see what effect he decides to use next.
Effect of Rage Trace.
So he's going to use Rage to add Shavara back to the hand.
That's fine.
So now he's getting the Shavara set up to have that for Pack's turn. So he's going to use YuGiOh here to destroy Sarama.
Effect of Sarama.
Yep.
Then Sarama's going to special summon an Unchained monster. The Shyama has returned.
Shyama target.
Yep.
Now he's going to use Shyama's effect to destroy his own card, destroying the YuGiOh to probably turn it into a level 6 Unchained monster. Maybe another copy of Shavara will be coming down. Indeed it is.
You are.
Resolution.
You're good.
Checking for Nib.
Yeah. Open game state was the appropriate time to do that.
Call out card names. Say card names. Card names? Okay.
Now he's going to overlay the 2 level 6 monsters.
I'll special summon in defense, deity, wave, High King Caesar.
So he's going to summon the
Triple
High Wave
D.
King Caesar. Triple D. Yep.
Wave High King Caesar.
Making Declan Akaba proud.
Draw.
Yep.
Standby. Main. Special.
All right, so he's going to lead with Kastira Fenrir. That's huge, because that just deals with the Caesar right away. And he doesn't have Escape Set or any other Unchained monster on the field, just has the Chamber.
That is a good start.
The Chamber could still somehow find a way to access Abominable, maybe. So he's going to use the Chamber to special summon from the hand or graveyard. He's going to go for the Soul of Rage, it looks like.
Okay.
Target.
So he's going to use Soul of Rage to link with the Fenrir and the Soul of Rage for SP Little Knight, I'd imagine.
So that instantly takes care of the Fenrir.
Just have Baylor.
Indeed it does.
SP Little Knight it is.
So he's going to use SP Little Knight's effect to banish since he used a monster from the extra deck. And he's going to banish Fenrir.
Oh, man. Pack has another one, even without using the effect of the first one to search.
So this can deal with both of these monsters. You can just go to battle phase, attack, activate the effect, targeting the Caesar. Adita can chain the Little Knight, so the Little Knight will at least not be destroyed by battle. But it still deals with both. But he has Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill.
Yep.
So that's going to negate Fenrir's effect. And if it leaves the field, he's going to take the damage of the attack.
But he'll still take the damage.
That's where I was like going in my head. It's hard not to say it. All right, now let's see if he still decides to move to battle phase. I see he has a number of monsters in his hand. He has to deal with the SP Little Knight and the Caesar.
All these two duelists are going for card against one another.
Okay.
All right, considering his options, this is a tough spot.
Yeah, he hasn't normal summoned yet. Just a couple of Fenrirs put on the field.
So he goes to battle phase, just trying to attack over SP Little Knight. Or does he go? I don't know the defense off the top of my head of the High Wave King Caesar. Normally in attack mode, but it looks like it is less than 24. But maybe, playing around stuff like Lightning Storm.
1,800 defense points, 2,800 attack points. So it is vulnerable to an attack from Fenrir.
Decides to still to take down the SP Little Knight. So we know Adita has Shavara in hand plus one other card. The Caesar on the field.
Yep. Main phase 2.
Pat goes to main phase 2. He's looking at 3 Infernoble monsters in his hand.
Normal summon.
Summons Richardette, though.
Normal summon is fine.
Now he's going to link it away, it looks like, for Link 1. Relinquished Anima.
Fortunately for Aditya, he did not put his Triple D monster directly in front of it.
Smart. Yep, you always want to play, especially with Pearly being out there, you want to play around those 2 zones that line up with the extra monster zone. Summon to the far right, far left, or the middle zone if you can.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad feeling getting your monster absorbed by relinquished anima when you could have just moved the monster over a little and kept your monster on the field.
Indeed. Definitely want to keep that in mind. And now he's going to link away the anima and the Fenrir.
Looks like we'll probably see SP Little Knight here.
Trying to clean up the Caesar. We'll see if this prompts a chain for Shavara just to get it onto the field. Probably not.
I'll take 24 just for linking it off, but I'm thinking
he's gonna still take the damage.
He'll still take. He link summons a monster, but he still takes the damage.
Thanks to that Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill.
24 over 8,000. I'll be at 56.
Oh, I counted.
Yeah, you're at 72. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so we're in agreement on life points?
Yes, and then I will declare the effect of Little Knight. I will target.
Gets to banish a card on the field or in the graveyard since he used a link monster in its link summon. Looks like he was contemplating what to banish, but he did settle on the triple D.
Yeah, he could have gone after the Yama from the graveyard potentially. But yeah, might as well get rid of the High Wave King Caesar.
Yeah, I mean, he really had to deal with it because he's in phase 2 already, and it will become a threat.
Yep, that's fine.
And then since there was a Shavara underneath it as a material, it was sent to the graveyard. It doesn't have to be sent there from the field, just has to be sent to the graveyard in any way, and he'll be able to set an Unchained trap card from the deck. And it looks like he's thinking about adding Escape. Yep, he's going to set the Escape of the Unchained.
Escape? Okay.
Escape.
Anything on res?
Nothing on resolution.
Okay.
All right, now let's see what he's going to do from here. If he's just going to hope that the SP Little Knight... Nope, he's going to
summon from hand.
Banish Ricardetto.
That's fine.
And that's going to summon Magius, I believe.
Thinking on res.
Thinking about his options. Gonna link SP Little Knight and the Infernoble away for...
Effect add.
It's Isolde because SP Little Knight is a warrior, so that's 2 warriors. So he's going to use Shavara here to destroy the Escape, and this is where I was saying he's going to find a way to access Abominable. He can destroy the Escape and then special summon Abominable and destroy this Isolde before it's able to send the equips from the deck to the graveyard. But he's going to get the on-summon effect to add a warrior for follow-up. He's going to grab the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried.
Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2.
Yep.
So it's also going to trigger his Yama in the graveyard. Since the card was destroyed, he can banish the Yama to special summon back an Unchained monster.
I keep forgetting.
And now he has a chance to summon from the deck. He summoned back the YuGiOh with the Yama. And then here comes the Abominable, so he'll be able to discard the card to take down that Isolde easily.
Do you have any triggers?
Nope.
Effective Abominable Unchained Soul?
He's using it right now.
And
drawing that Isolde could be tremendously problematic for Pack.
Yep.
Yep, and he's going to discard the Phoenix Rhino Warrior. Not going to be able to send down a Shavara and gain the effect since he already used Shavara's effect this turn. So yeah, no point in really using it here. He has Shyama in the graveyard as well, I believe.
Pitch Gearfried to summon.
Sure.
So now he's going to summon out his last Infernoble.
What's...
Are we in a trigger effect right now?
No.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the timer. Right. An illegal play was pointed out to us in the previous game. Ultimately, it did not impact the overall game, but it was... scroll up, please. Please don't.
Sorry.
Infernoble Knight Turpin, the activation was illegal. It can only be special summoned if you control the equipment.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Have you received a procedural error penalty minor for this?
Looks like there might have been a...
Minor for this infraction of the same one?
Well, what did you do in the previous one?
I don't... The thing is, I don't remember. Can you just double check for me? I don't remember.
Looks like...
Yeah, it looks like in game 1 there might have been an illegal action. So not on purpose, sometimes it happens. The Infernoble cards have a lot of layers to each one of them, but it looks like they just now caught it, so they're going to bring it up now to just for a PE minor warning for procedural error.
Sounded like Pack may have special summoned Infernoble Knight Turpin, which can only be special summoned if you control a monster equipped with an equip card. I don't remember offhand if he had a monster equipped with an equip card when he special summoned it.
Okay.
The good news is the previous penalty was not
But it looks like it was just a warning, not going to be upgraded here, so that's okay. But definitely going to want to tighten the screws and pay a little more attention. Like you mentioned, yeah, the Infernoble deck is pretty hard, and players haven't been playing it too much leading up to this point. So yeah, players are still trying to learn it. Mistakes cannot happen.
Yeah, this is a very complicated deck to use for sure.
Yeah, but Pac tried his best this turn, but seen the writing on the walls and is just going to concede this game.
Yeah, we're gonna set the timer though, because we have to
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yep. So
Back my cards up.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So the one monster on his field was the only card in his possession, and I guess he couldn't do enough with it.
Yep. So after that, just quick minor warning. Adita's going to take game number 2, representing Plano. Let's go Wildcats. I lived there. I lived in Plano for 5 to 7 years, something like that. It's a really nice city, about 30 minutes north of Dallas. Definitely a cool city if you're in the area to check out. Lots of cool stuff to do. Right around Frisco, kind of where the Cowboys do their training and stuff as well. But representing one of my hometowns, one of the only 3 cities that I could call a hometown. I've got to pull for the Plano man himself, Aditya. But Pac, a fan favorite. We've seen him dominate tournaments. He's already been a remote duel YCS champion, a 3v3 team YCS champion. He won one of the Latin American events very recently. And now he's back at it again, trying to win an individual in-person YCS. So if he wins this one, he'll still have 3 YCS wins, but 3 different kinds of YCSs, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Pac's from New Jersey, which is not too far from my home in New York.
There you go. Well, I hear they're drastically different, but
well, the states are.
I'm just joking. I know the New York guys give all the New Jersey guys a little bit of a hard time. But it would be cool to see, so it's kind of like a rivalry matchup for us.
But the New York and New Jersey guys attend the same regionals.
Nope, yeah, definitely. The whole tri-state area, very close together. But now, this kind of always been one of the historically in YuGiOh, you had New York, Texas, California, Florida. They've been some of the best states. New York, New Jersey, the whole tri-state area, Philadelphia, kind of also up there, have been notoriously some of the best states with represented from players. So it's cool to see them back at it again here on the top 8 stage. But Pac's going to be going first this game for the first time of the match. We're going to have to see if that man's going to make the difference. Yep. If Aditya has some answers in his side deck that he can dive into. As I mentioned, he just beat Infernoble in top 16. So he knows how to beat the deck. He has beaten the deck before. See, that's going to have to probably play into his confidence going into game number 3.
Absolutely. And he did just win the most recent duel.
Yeah, that's also, you got to ride that as long as you can for sure. And he looks like he's focused, doesn't look too nervous. Pac also not looking nervous. He's not a stranger to being on this stage. The bright lights probably aren't getting to them. It's more so when you're that close to the finals, you're just focused on your duels. You're focused on winning. You don't have to worry about the nerves because you're close to making YuGiOh history. Whoever wins, this is going to be our first ever YCS Richmond champion, since this is our first ever YCS here in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And spoken like a true duelist, Billy.
I try. I play every day. You want to make sure that you focus on the good part of the game. Don't let the stress get to you. Be happy. Enjoy what you're doing. Have fun with it. Because believe it or not, the more fun you're having, the better off you're probably going to do.
Yeah, I feel like when you're at the top tables and at that level of competition, you're so into the game, you kind of just lock everything else out.
Yep, exactly. That's the best way to do it. Players are shuffling up. We still have 27 minutes on the clock. As we get further into Top Cut, they do get additional time. I believe this round was 55 minutes, so they had an additional 10 minutes than what you normally have during the Swiss rounds, which is always really nice because you don't want to have to worry about the time running out when you are in the finals or in the top 8 like we are here.
Yeah, those were pretty quick games, though. They were over basically on turn 2 both times.
Definitely. Yeah, literally, actually. Yeah. We didn't get past turn 2 quite just yet. But I'm excited to see Pac go first. The Infernoble strategy, like I said before the match started, one of the best decks at going first. It's really going to come down to what Aditya can draw to counteract Pac's, ruthless aggression that he's going to have here with his Infernoble strategy. And you see, the focus. This is exactly how I am, like when I'm shuffling my cards, staring straight at the board. Both players locked in. They're not thinking about the people watching them at home. They're just focused on their own game.
It's the duel. That's all that matters.
All right, we're moments away from jumping into game number 3 here. Unchained versus Infernoble. Both of these decks receive so much support in Duelist Nexus. We talk about Age of Overlord making a huge impact, but Duelist Nexus is still paying dividends to these players today as we see it making an impact here a few months later. It's been 3 or 4 months now since Duelist Nexus released.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of shifts in the game with the recent releases.
Definitely. SP Little Knight, of course, making a huge impact. Everyone knows that card is good. But now Pack showing these Infernobles are also able to capitalize on the addition of SP Little Knight. With it just being a warrior is actually huge.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that. I assumed it was a Cyberus monster.
You did because the IP Masquerade is a Cyberus?
Well, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. I also thought the same thing, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's game 3 of top 8 of YCS Richmond. It's time to duel one last time in top 8. Here we go. Pack-a-Watt's going to go first. Let's see what he's working with. I at least see 2 really good starting cards. If it's not met by Droll and Lockbird.
If it's not met by Droll and Lockbird, indeed. Reinforcement of the army. In a deck full of warriors, that seems like a strong opening play.
Yes.
Let's see what he decides to grab. Looks like it is going to be the Neospace Connector. And there goes the Neospace Connector. Really good. Not only does it let you get 2 warriors on the field right away, you get access to that Aqua Dolphin, which lets you peek at your opponent's hand and try and take out a card they might be holding to end your combos.
It's almost something connector effect.
Connector's effect activates. I think this is the point at which a DJ will need something.
He has Ash Blossom. Next up, Pack is going to use Terraforming. He's going to try and...
the museum.
Yep, here comes the Noble Arms of the Museum.
Activate Museum. Pay 12.
1,200 life points will get him the Noble Arm of his choice. One of those museum relics to add to his hand.
Search Durandal.
Yes.
Activate Durandal.
Adds Durandal.
Yes.
I'm going to equip it to the Neospace Connector and then send it to the graveyard to add a warrior monster from his deck to his hand. He's going to grab the Fireflint Lady. Since he controls a warrior monster, he's going to be able to extend the Fireflint Lady onto the field.
Effect Fireflint Lady special.
It's almost like getting the Dolphin without being able to use the Dolphin's effect. But
it helps you get to your main goal, which is just 2 warriors on the field, which is all you need to go into Isolde, Tale of 2 Noble Knights.
Yep, the main difference is that Pack no longer does not know what else is left in a DJ's hand after that Ash Blossom was used.
Does he have the Imperm?
Unchained Ghost Mourner.
Oh, it's a
Ghost Mourner.
That helped him out in game 2, and here it is in game number 3. Going to cut off the addition. He can still use Isolde's effect to pay the cost to send the equips to the graveyard.
That was my recollection as well. So he can get the Divine Phoenix Sword and some other cards in there, but he won't be able to special summon that monster. And also can't search for a
follow-up.
A card to add to his hand on summon.
Okay. Yep, that's good. Yeah, I don't take damage yet.
Not yet.
No, he moonlit it.
Oh, it gets effects too. I remember the damage points.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, now can Pack play through 2 points of disruption from Aditya here?
3 in hand, right?
Yeah, that Ghost Mourner was just another reason it was so critical for Aditya to negate the effect of the Neospace Connector and stop the Aqua Dolphin from peeking at his hand.
I think I do this.
He's going to use the original Sinful-Spoils Snake Eye to send his Noble Arm Museum to the graveyard to special summon a level 1 fire monster from the deck. He's going to summon Infernoble Knight Renaud.
The effect of Renaud, I'll target Durandal.
Sure.
So Renaud is going to add the Durandal back to the hand. Now he's going to link away, maybe just for an SP here.
Could be.
Nope, he's going to go for another copy of Isolde. So this one still has the second effect that it can use.
5,200?
16.
But he's going to still take the damage.
But he'll still take the damage.
From the first Isolde.
Yeah, 52, yeah. Yeah.
Yep, so he's taking 16 and 1,200 this turn, thanks to Ghost Mourner in the Noble Arms Museum.
I assume he used the first effect, which can only be used once per turn.
Yep, and now he's going to use the second effect.
So let me double check what I have.
Yes, but since he hasn't used the second effect, that second Isolde he summoned is able to. So now he does get to send those spells to the grave and special summon a monster. So well navigated by Pack.
Definitely, Pack really demonstrating how Infernoble can play through those points of disruption from the opponent on turn 1. He's going to send 1, 2, imagine 3. He's looking at DDR, yep. Maybe 4. Oh, yeah, the Divine Sword Phoenix Blade, he's for sure going to want to send. No reason to leave that in the deck. Oh, never mind. I lied. He's leaving it in the deck.
4 for cost.
So he's going to send 4.
Resolve.
Yep.
So he's going to be able to summon a level 4 warrior from the deck to the field.
Let's see which one he opts for.
Probably Ogier.
Looks like he's deciding. He doesn't have to establish the craziest field. As long as it's decent, Aditya only has 3 cards left in his hand.
Can you add back off of Renaud?
Durandal.
So he's going to use Ogier's effect to send either a Null Arm Equip or a Fire
This is
Warrior.
I'll send.
This is an intense match. We are in game 3 here of top 8. There's a lot on the line. Aditya's doing his best to survive this turn 1 onslaught from Pakawat.
There is still almost 20 minutes on the clock, so they do have time.
Send this.
So he's going to send Turpin to the graveyard with Ogier's effect.
I'm going to have to stop right there.
Yep.
I'm afraid you're taking too long between resolving and using your effect.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Pac, the amount of time on the clock is not relevant to slow play, so he is receiving a warning for that.
Yep.
Again, it's just a warning.
Yep, thank you.
I understand like it's a complicated game, but we just have to keep a good pace of play.
Yeah, that's
So SP minor, just a warning.
All right, now he's going to...
Time back on the clock.
Yep, got to add 3 more minutes since there was a slow play warning issued. Just took a little bit too long there on the thought, even though, you know, there's a lot on the line, but you got to still keep up the pace of play.
Can I keep going?
Right.
Okay.
All right, so now he's going to activate Durandal, target Ogier. He's going to be able to spell some back to turn. Now he's doing it the right way, just in case. Yeah, making sure he doesn't do it legally, since that was the card that got him a warning in game 1. But he does have a monster equipped with an equipped card, so the Turpin will come back.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to make the same illegal play,
Okay. Yep, thank you.
because then the penalty can be upgraded.
That's fine, I guess.
Pac doesn't sound thrilled with where this is going.
Effective Dempsey to
So he's going to overlay for
Yep.
Battle and Boxer
It adds
Dempsey.
solutions, yeah.
So he's going to be able to add a fire monster. That's out of Legendary Duelist Soul Burning Volcano. We saw Salamangreat also doing well from that set. And Dempsey's just a card that can go in any fire deck pretty much. We've seen it in Vanquish Soul with the Super Heavy Samurai Super Heavy Samurai engine as well. But being used here in Infernoble makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah. Just get a fire warrior.
Pac's got to be a little more decisive. He really does not want to pick up a second slow play warning here. And now he's going to add the Magius. Now, this is the time while your opponent's reading your card that you want to think about your next play. Don't waste any more time after they're done reading it, so make sure
For sure.
you can capitalize on that time.
You may continue.
Yep.
All right, so next up, he's going to
Summon from end.
banish the Ricardetto. And now he's going to summon the Magius.
Okay.
As a chamber.
Yep, it's good on resolution.
Pac's dipping back into his extra deck. Looks like he's reaching for Appaloosa, which would only have 3 link materials.
Yep, it doesn't. Make Appaloosa with these.
Yep, he is going to go for a link for Appaloosa.
No.
So it has 2,400 attack and the ability to negate up to 3 monster
which would lock
effects.
me. I didn't use Ricardetto's first effect, which would lock me.
Yep, not locked into Warriors.
Second.
Yep, I didn't use it.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
No, that's
yep.
all. I'll just read Turpin.
I'll activate the effect of Magus. I'll shuffle back 1.
He's going to use Magius to shuffle back 3.
3 materials to make.
Yep, 3, yeah.
Yep, Appaloosa is going to be at
So,
2,400.
effective
Bow
Magus,
of the
shuffle
Goddess.
this.
Appaloosa actually pretty good against Unchained. If they just have like Shavar and stuff in hand, you can negate the effects, keep them in hand, and stop them from destroying and coming onto the field.
And the 3 negations actually might be adequate since Aditya only has 3 cards left in his hand.
Oh, shuffle again.
So even if he has a bunch of relevant monster effects, the Appaloosa's negations may be able to carry packages next turn.
Yep.
I only need one more person to start the
All right, shuffling up.
one more.
So looks like Pack is going to rely on this Appaloosa unless he can get something here off the top of his deck. Oh, he did. I think he drew this Immortal Phoenix Gear Free.
He did.
That's going to help.
Summon.
That's fine.
That's an additional negation for him to put on the field.
You have, I believe, a monster effect?
Was that an effect veiler in Pack's hand?
I think so.
So he can stop lots of monster effects.
OG effect to equip.
So he's going to use Ogier effect to equip to the Immortal Phoenix Gear Freed. The Fire Warrior toolbox.
Leave the main phase.
And now he's going to try and leave main phase, in phase. He has the Gear Freed, he has the Appaloosa. Aditya is going to draw to 4 cards in hand. The Plano, Texas native is going to have to try hard here to deal with this board. Appaloosa pretty good against Unchained, unless he draws into something like Infinite Impermanence. Does he have a normal summonable monster? I see another copy of Ghost Mourner. I see Rakea. I think I see Abomination's Prison.
I think that's it. No, he must
has
have one more
other
card that I can't see.
Gonna check about the Immortal Phoenix Gear Freed real quick. It's been a while since light cards come down too often. I believe it just negates monster effects.
Yes, by sending a face-up equipped card you control to the graveyard, negates the activation of a monster effect and destroys it. Also has a cool effect that can equip your opponent's monsters to it when it attacks.
That is really cool.
This card was released actually in a structure deck in Duel Links not too long ago.
No, originally in Toon Chaos, one of my favorite sets of all time.
It was.
Aditya is going to use Abomination's Prison here to add an Unchained monster from the deck to the hand. Looks like he's thinking about, couldn't see quite just what he moved to the top of his deck there. It is it Shavar? Oh no, Abominable.
Yep.
Okay.
With no spells or traps to break through Pack's field, this is going to be tough for Aditya.
Yeah, I mean, Pack can negate the monster effects in hand with Appaloosa, can negate the monster effects on field with the Immortal Phoenix Gear Freed, but the Gear Freed destroying it is pretty huge.
Yeah.
That's true.
Declare an attack with Rakea until Appaloosa.
So he's going to go into battle phase, attack with Rakea. It's going to be destroyed, but it's going to trigger the effect in the graveyard to special summon from the deck. And since it's the damage step, I don't think Appaloosa negates the activation, so he won't be able to stop that.
Appaloosa certainly can't, and I guess the Immortal Phoenix Gear Freed can't. Can Immortal Phoenix Gear Freed? Let's see.
Chainlink on Rakea, chainlink to Abominable on Chancellor.
No,
I'm thinking.
No, he can use the Gear Freed, and it does negate the activation. So he can use Gear Freed in the damage step. Yep, and he is going to Gear Freed the Abominable, it looks like, here.
Chain Link 3 Gear Freed, send for cost.
That's huge.
All right, so that Gear Freed won up the Appaloosa there, and that might actually make all the difference.
Yep.
Wow, this is huge. I wonder if he just left the Abominable in the deck. He could have summoned the Abominable. Oh no, because then that would have still been negated by the Gear Freed.
The second Chain Link.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for Aditya here.
Yeah, if that were in the deck, he couldn't chain block.
Yeah.
So the effect of special summon from the deck will resolve.
Does he have something with more than 2,400 attack that can deal with this Appaloosa besides the Abominable? The only time you ever want 2 in your deck, I don't think so. Think so, but he's going to go for Disaster.
Chain Magus, shuffle for cost. 1.
May I read the trigger for him?
Yep, when he's sent to the graveyard. It's a trigger that would move, so you should still be able to activate during damage step, right?
If this card is sent to the graveyard, yeah.
Yep.
Making sure.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so he's going to use Magius Effect here.
Yeah, 3. I'm not done picking yet.
Lets him just shuffle 3 of his other Fire Warriors or Noble Arms.
Draw a card.
Into the deck from the graveyard and draw 1.
Looking for some defensive options probably from the deck. If he does have that effect failure in hand and he can use this on the Disaster, that could be huge. Because the Disaster is going to try and use it to link away with Pack's Appaloosa.
There you go. And I'll Put your deck.
A lot of Unchained players don't even use the Unchained Soul Disaster, but it can be
draw
quite
cards.
useful to break boards just like this.
Oh, you're good to continue.
Yeah, that'll be a pretty good card. Well, he can also just use Appaloosa to negate it, right?
True.
So that 1, 2, 600 attack.
So its attack points are 300 for each Unchained monster in the graveyard, Unchained card in the graveyard, so it can't actually destroy anything in battle.
So it looks like he is going to use the effect. Let's see if Pack uses Appaloosa here or the effect veiler in his hand. Looks like he's going to try and link away with the Immortal Phoenix
Chain
Gearfried.
Appaloosa to negate.
Yeah, Appaloosa is definitely the better play here. It's in main phase 2. The Appaloosa is not vulnerable to battle anymore.
Yep.
Doesn't need those 800 attack points, and Pack gets to keep the effect veiler, which I believe is in his hand, unless my eyes deceive me.
Activate Arula, target.
Rua's effect activated.
Negate with Appaloosa.
will negate it once more. It
So
will stay in
good.
his hand, but nothing gets destroyed.
Appaloosa is so good against Unchained. Oh man, Pack, playing through those 2 points of disruption, but still able to establish a board that he knew would be good against this matchup. Just excellent play here from Pack. He could be moments away from moving on to top 4 with his Infernoble strategy. In packing the Sinful-Spoils nonetheless. Oh, but Typhon, another card from Asia Overlord. Since Pack special summoned 2 monsters from the extra deck in the previous turn, he can, as his last summon, can go into Typhon, and then
Chain
he
Veiler.
can try and return a card on Pack's side of the field, but Pack is just going to negate it with Effect Veiler. And this game is looking, or at least it's going to stop the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried from using its effect since it has 3,000 attack. But Typhon, a really great card out of Asia Overlord. Looks like that's the quarter century secret rare.
The Gearfried's effect can actually equip the Typhon. Because it negates the effect with his effect. Gotcha.
Yep. But
yeah, so it will stop that. I can't imagine it's going to be particularly
from my
problematic.
graveyard. I
for
don't
Pack,
think
though,
so.
So, in spite of its ability to negate the Gearfried.
So Heritage Chalice is going to add Noble Arms Museum. Noble Arms Museum is going to activate. He's going to pay 1,200. He's going to add a Noble Arms card from his deck to his hand.
Is that okay?
Pack's paying himself down to 4,000 life points.
He's done all the damage to himself here. Well, I guess the Ghost Mourner was damage from Aditya as well, but he's going to grab...
But he sent it to the graveyard.
True, he chose it.
He chose to take that 1,600 points of damage.
He's going to grab the Durandal.
Magus effect, target Gearfried.
So he's going to bring back the Magus yet again to the Gearfried. All Pack has to do is find a way to get to SP Little Knight, banish the Typhon off the field, and maybe go for game here. It's going to be tough. He's still low on cards.
Normal summon Ricardetto.
Summons Ricardetto.
Summon himself back.
And then he's going to bring back Turpin. Since he has the monster with the equip spell, he's going to be able to synchro. That's a 4 and a 1, so it's going to be a level 5 synchro for Angelica.
Angelica effect to add.
There she is.
Angelica's going to be able to add another copy of the Noble Arms Museum. The beautiful quarter century secret rares. This deck is so pretty.
Yeah, Pack is choosing to use a lot of high rarity cards.
All of them, if you can. Yep.
Effect a museum, summon Oger.
So now he's going to use the museum to
effect the
special summon Infernoble monster in the spell and trap card zone to the field. And Ogier's effect is going to activate to send a monster from the deck to the graveyard. He's going to send Oliver. Pack just has to find a way to get enough damage on the board here.
Durandal effect, target Oger. Effect Durandal to search.
So he's going to equip the Ogier for Durandal. Durandal's going to go to the graveyard, let him add another warrior from his deck to the hand. He's going to get Renaud. Renaud's going to be able to special summon and add back a Noble Arm.
Is that affecting both players or just you?
It affects both players.
Okay, thank you.
Making sure that, his Immortal Phoenix Gearfried is going to be cut off for right now.
Special Renaud. Effect targeting... DDR.
He's going to add back DDR, Different Dimension Reincarnation. That's an old school equip card, one of my favorites.
Nothing's banished at the moment, though, with special summons banished monsters.
Turpin targeting Angelica.
So now he's going to use Turpin. When he targets the Angelica, it can banish Angelica to special summon a Roland from the graveyard or extra deck.
There it is. He now has a banished monster as well. So, Different Dimension Reincarnation is back online.
And he gets to send Kastira Riseheart to the graveyard.
Not expecting to see that card. But okay.
It's a fire, at least. I'll take it.
It's a fire warrior.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And we did see Fenrir, so.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Vanquish Soul also uses those cards as well. Now, Pack doing some math, making sure he doesn't drop the ball here at this stage. He just has to get rid of this Typhon.
Activate Turpin's effect to special summon itself because I control Magus equipped to this.
Is Turpin not once per turn?
That's a good question because he did it once this turn.
That should be lethal. I will
You can only use
attempt to
each
enter
of the following
Valkyrie.
effects of it once per turn.
Pretty sure he summoned Turpin this turn and then synchroed with it, right?
That's my recollection.
Gearfried attack over it. Captain rolling for 2,500.
But that's okay. I think he's going to attack over here. He's complete
I'll
control of the
46.
game.
Gearfried does gain 500 attack points for
Ogier
each of
for
its
2,000.
equips, so it is stronger than Typhon.
I'll put you at 26. 19. And then 1,000 for game.
So can he win without Turpin?
All right, well, Pack attacks directly for game there. And Pack is going to be moving on to top 8. Or sorry, top 4. He just won in top 8 and just going to be 2 wins away from moving on.
Yeah, it's a really strong deck that can build pretty big fields. Put up a lot of negations as well, as you can see from that duel where he made the Appaloosa, capable of negating 3 monster effects.
Emily fumbled.
The Gearfried capable of negating 1 monster, the activation of a monster effect, and then he had the Veiler in his hand, and that carried into the next turn.
Yeah, that was a close game. I mean, he